Alright, 700 Grizzly. The wife's doing the back brake pads. Obviously you take your wheel off. And there's one that goes right here in that open slot. It's a 12 millimeter. And then there's another one right down under there. Get the camera to where you can see it. Right here. I got mine loose. You need to take that out. So there's two 12 millimeters. Once you get that off, you can pull your brake caliper off of there. She is completely gone. Yeah, that one's in a world of crap. We ride a lot of sand and water, and she's missing an entire brake pad back here. So your rear brakes are on your left reservoir. As you can tell, I've already taken the cap off. All you do is open that up so you can leave the back pressure when you do this little trick, and I'm hoping my camera will sit right in here for you. So my cameras went off. Okay, so right here, 30. Take that little cap out of there, that little cap right there, and pull your retaining pin out of there. Take a C-clamp, put your C-clamp on there like that. Sometimes it can be tricky to kind of keep it holding in one space, but I'm hoping you can see the cylinder back here inside this caliper getting pressed back. If you can see this or not. It's kind of hard to do this while holding the camera, so I'm going to kind of wedge it in here. You see that cylinder going back? That pushes it back. And by doing that, forces that level of fluid to rise. That, in turn, should prevent you from having to bleed it through your bleeder valves. Alright, got the other ones here. See, you slide that thing, that notch down. Make sure your tension springs are in there. And it just sits right back in there. You see that? It just slides just like that right back in there. And your other one, if I can get it turned around here, it's got that little fork on the end of it there. And it sits just like that. Now, if I can keep the camera focused, put it back together, put a little white lithium grease on here. You don't want too much because you don't want it spraying up on your pads. It'll just ruin your pads and they won't work. But we'll hopefully keep it from seizing up on you. I've had it happen before, and that is a pain. And then you know what? And if you can see it, because I tried to keep it in the camera's view, I'm going to take this one out of here so I can see this one a little bit easier. Alright, once I get that feeding through, plop the other one down in there, push it the rest of the way in, and tighten that screw back down. Then you got your little set plug there. Put that little set plug, this little thing there. Luckily my wife had front brakes. Obviously the back ones were not there at all, and you've seen why. Anyways, space your And get it in focus here. Make sure you spread them apart. Not your butt cheeks. That is wrong. Just your brake pads. And you bring it right over here. Right back on your rotor. And then you take your two 12 millimeters little bolts and put them right back there. And I showed you in the beginning of the video. There's one that goes right there in that spot, and the other one that goes right, if you can see it, right up in there, in that spot. Tighten them back up and be right back. Alright, got them on there. Got the bolts tightened up. Got cap back on the master cylinder up here. And start pumping. See, these ones are pretty soft. But the more we pump them, the tighter they get. Just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and bleed them. And I believe I did another video on that. Nevertheless, I'll show you how to do it here. This side, since that handle there is for the rear brake, so is this foot brake. So do it a few times, hold it all the way down. Hopefully you saw that. Pumped it a bunch of times, and then as soon as you release it, you see that squirt out of there, squirted up there. So definitely ain't got no air in there. You do your furthest one from it first, then you come over and do this side. I don't know if it's recording, is it? Alright. This is an 8mm wrench. Do it a bunch of times, hold it down. Do it several times. Alright.